Brainstorming is a very fun process, because this is where we explore different ideas and concepts for your logo. It's about a process that helps you find good ideas to sketch. To begin the brainstorming, you need to first create a mood board where you can save all your ideas and inspiration. You can do this by creating a folder and storing images by saving all ideas as a presentation, or by creating a board on Pinterest. I tried all the methods over the years and finally settled on using Pinterest, as it's quick and easy to browse and save ideas. So on Pinterest, you can create boards where you can pin ideas. Pinterest also leads to categorize the pins, making it easier to sort through different concepts or ideas. Now you might be thinking, what ideas do I save? Well, you can save anything. Anything that relates to the logo you want to create. But let me walk you through a proper process. First, you should make a list of words related to your brand. If you go back to our example project, we could come up with so many words to associate with the brand. The first thing about this brand is, it's a social media app that shows you stories on a map. So there you have it. The first word we have is maps. Now let's find words associated with maps. I'll go ahead and save it for maps, synonyms, and see what we get. Let's see what we have on the first few pages. We can see words like picture, drawing, atlas, graph, tracing on this list. Let's write down these words somewhere. We have the following words that are associated with maps: drawing, picture, compass, graph, tracing. The objective of the logo that we're going to design the logo is a video-based app. Let's search for some words associated with the term video. As you can see, there are tons of synonyms that we can use. I really like the words record or broadcast. I hope you're getting a drift of how you can find word to associate with the brand. Let me show you one last example where we will pick the word youth. Follow the same process as we did before, where you can come up with your own words or synonyms. For example, when I think of youth, I get terms like enthusiastic, fresh, active drawn in my mind. Let's go with these words and create our list. We have three main words: maps, video, and youth. And we have come with the following word associations for each term. It's time to find some visual ideas for these terms. So let's fire up Pinterest now and search for ideas that relate to maps. You can search for anything like maps design, map icons, map logo to find ideas. I searched for map icons. I found some really cool icons and designs. This one in particular looks interesting, so I'll save it to the board I created. Pinterest also gives you the option to save up in this section of the board. Since our board doesn't have any section, let me quickly create one called Mans. There, you have it up in a save. Now let's look for some more ideas. I feel like we can find some great ideas for the term atlas, so let's search that. Wow, these are some really nice images and can serve as inspiration. Let's save this. Now you can easily find visual images for terms like maps and videos. But what about youthfulness or fresh? Let's look at some ideas for these terms as well, and search for the term youthful logo to find some inspiration. And you can see there are so many great logos. They have bright colors and the fonts are bold. They feel energetic. So this gives me an idea of how I can design a youthful and fresh logo for the app Squint. I will go ahead and save some of these. When collecting ideas, you don't also have to fully rely on the design brief or what the client wants. As a creative professional, it's your job to think outside the box, to come up with unique ideas that your client would not think about. For example, in our client brief, we saw that the client wants a logo for a social media ad. What does this social media app do? It helps build communities. This was not mentioned anywhere in the brief, but it's very apparent in this case. When you take your time to think about the clients in business, you'll observe many things that were not covered in the brief before. Perhaps it could be because the client thinks they'll be apparent to you, or they don't think it was necessary to mention it to you. Regardless of what the reason is working your mind, just a little bit will help you uncover new ideas for what logo to design. In this case, we realize that we can find ideas around people and communities. So let's do one last search on Pinterest. Before I wrap up this video, let's search for community icons to find some visual imagery that relate to people, connections, and communities. As you can see in the result, we have different images. This one on the left is people holding hands. That's nice. Then scrolling down, you can see images of people together, holding each other united in knowledge. Let's save some of these ideas to our board. Now, a couple of important points. You don't have to always search for only logos when looking up ideas. Try to find anything that relates to the brand. For example, if you're designing a logo for a boating company, look up images of boards and how they look like. The closer you are to the source material, the easier it will be for you to come up with original ideas. Another thing to keep in mind is not to discard any ideas during the brainstorming phase. No matter how crazy the idea is, just save it. You can always discard data. The goal of the brainstorming process is to collect as many ideas as you can. Lastly, there's no limit on how many ideas you can collect. Collect as many ideas as you can until you feel like you have enough. Once you feel the creative juices flowing in your body, telling you that you can sketch some really cool ideas, you can stop, and then you can move on to the sketching part.